Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. I am so excited because today's reading is a collaboration with the beautiful and very healing Carissa over at 9 3/4. And today we're taking a look at a channeled message from your inner child. Of course, we are doing Studio Ghibli themed. And Carissa's reading is all about which Studio Ghibli character is your inner child's alter ego. So we are going to be doing a deep dive into some inner child healing today, and I'm so very grateful that you are here with me / us today. As always, the timestamps will be listed below in the description box, as well as any other information you could want from me, and the link to Carissa's channel and video. Again, thank you so much for being here. You are so very, very loved, and I'm so excited. Look at this cute little deck with no face. Oh my goodness. All right. Please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has a message in it for you. We, of course, have group number 1 on the left, group number 2, left center, group number 3, right center, and group number 4, all the way to the right. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi, group number 1, namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at channeled messages from your inner child. So look at this cute little deck, first of all. The card that you chose is the Ace of Swords. So this indicates that your inner child wants to speak up. There is some sort of new beginning or new mind frame that is occurring for you. You are gaining clarity in certain areas of life, and you're very much aware that right now you're in a transitional period. Looking at this card specifically, we have Chihiro in the beginning of the movie Spirited Away. She's clutching a bouquet of flowers in the backseat of her car. She's feeling a little bit forlorn, and she is moving. This is right at the beginning of the movie. She has no idea what type of magic she's about to tap into. She has no idea what type of adventure she's about to go on. But what she does know is that she's uncomfortable because everything is changing. She's holding on to this bouquet of flowers. I think they're like pea blossoms or something, from her friend, along with a note. And she is holding on to the past still, and not so much looking forward to the future, because she doesn't know what it holds. And your inner child here is saying not to be afraid to tap into love. Now we have the green and the red here on her clothes, and a little bit of yellow, which is saying that if you can stand in your confidence and your power just a little bit more right now, and allow yourself to love the uncertainty and be comfortable wherever you're at. Now that is the ultimate root chakra, the ultimate root chakra task right there. Without getting overly comfortable or opening it up too much, learning how to be comfortable wherever you are. Everywhere is your home. And so when you're in this transitional period, allowing yourself to love where you've been so that you can love where you're going. There's an indication that maybe you are holding on to either the future or the past a little bit more than the other. And as we know, both come together to create the culmination point that is the present moment. So your inner child is asking you to look the other way for a little bit so that you can be more present. And that it's okay to love where you're coming from. It's okay to look back and acknowledge the pain that might be there. But it's also, your inner child wants to let you know that your inner child specifically is so excited for this next chapter of your life. You might have a few inklings about where this is going to go, or you might have a few little things that are kind of checking themselves off your inner child's list right now that are making you excited or wanting to be hopeful instead of that wanted to come out instead of hopeful about what the future holds. And they're showing me quite literally my crystal ball here. This isn't Alexandrite sphere. Alexandrite could be significant, or the Library of Alexandria comes to mind as well. Information with the Ace of Swords could be significant. You are gaining information, you're gaining tools, okay? And you're also gaining truth in a particular area of life. Saying pull from the bottom of the deck, so I will. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Oh, I love these cards. The 7 of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, and the King of Cups. Oh my goodness gracious. Your inner child wants you to know that your fullest capacity of inner child fulfillment is right before your face. And you might not be seeing it right now because you're not fully there yet. And that's okay. And when you start to step into this chapter, you might be expecting it to be 90% of the way. But we have 9 with the ace, and that's a sneaky 10. Now, they want to draw your attention to the fact that you have a very solid foundation. And the cards that came out here with, okay, the Three of Pentacles at the back of the deck, you might be noticing that things are not what they seem right now. I'm going to turn the cards this way just for funsies. But in all of these cards, you'll notice that these are instances where Chihiro needed to be the responsible one in a situation when no one believed her, or she had to take responsibility and do things that a child shouldn't be put in charge of, or when she's lost and alone and confused and people are treating her differently and they're discriminating against her. Now, you might expect a little bit of pushback from your community, but whatever is occurring for you right now, it's exactly happening in your favor. You are going to be at a chapter of life where you don't see what's coming. We have the Ace of Swords and the Four of Wands here, which are both beautiful cards about finding clarity, living in your truth, speaking your mind, expressing yourself, having a new beginning, clearing that throat chakra, clearing that mind, being in a happy, healthy mental state. And the Four of Wands, which is the card of, since we're doing tales today, fairy tales, it is the card of happily ever after, okay? But if you look at this card as well of the Four of Wands, this is Chihiro and No Face and their little friends on the train, not knowing where they're going and thinking that where they're going is going to be a dark, scary, evil place. Now, it's really cool to see that this is actually what leads them to happiness. They end up building a community. They end up working together. They end up learning and practicing new skills. And there's something here about your self-fulfillment and your ability to do everything on your own. It's going to pay off in the end. There's going to be some sort of offer of love with the King of Cups. I love this deck so much. I hope I don't say that too often in this reading, but I do. It's so cute. There is an indication that somebody's going to be making you some sort of offer, or somebody's going to be doing something for you that they know you could use. And it's going to just make your inner child leap for joy. And here we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is having a solid, steady foundation. Now notice that we knocked over the pineal chakra crystal a little bit. So there can be something here about a lot of noise. There's a lot going on here. Everybody is wanting to just, I'm hearing take my money, take my money. Everybody is just wanting to present what they have, to build a foundation that isn't what it seems. But because you are following your morals, because you are following the true foundation, and 7 is the number of the divine, it's the number of Libra, the number of Venus, the number of balance, of morals, of virtues, of healthy relationships, because your foundation is this, regardless of what your past looks like. Because this is your foundation, this community is able to see this. And this can be like, they're showing me dreams. I'm also seeing DreamWorks. For some reason, they're showing me Shrek. Okay, we have 9 and 3, which is 12. Okay, which is Neptune. It's Pisces. It's the 12th house. This is all things endings and new beginnings. This is all things your subconscious, your dreams, dream work. And this can also be magnetizing messages from your subconscious mind, from your higher self, from your consciousness, from source. This can be channeling messages. This can also be connecting with your angel spirits and guides in a very special way. Now, if you've been having significant dreams that include specific guides of yours or collectives or storylines, you're being asked to take them a little more literally than you normally would at this time, because they're showing you a path to freedom, okay? There's some sort of knowledge here that is going to allow you to build a new foundation for yourself, and you're not going to be doing this alone this time. We have 7 and 3, which is 10, which indicates hard work, but in the center we have the King of Cups, which indicates that, yes, this is hard work, but it's going to be something that you wanted to blossom into. It's going to be the type of flower that you planted, not looking at the stem, not looking at the leaves, but looking at the flower at its peak of bloom. And knowing that you're not alone, knowing that other people emotionally and mentally support you. I'm hearing support system, especially with the King of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles here. There's a support system. Also, your angel spirits and guides are thanking you for allowing your foundation. Like, we have 7 with the King of Cups and the 9 of coins here, and we have 4 and 3, which is another 7. So we have 77. Your angel spirits and guides are thanking you for going back to the things that your inner child knew and allowing yourself to use this as a framework for your healing. They're saying you've done a lot of work, a lot of healing work up until this point, and that they're very, very happy to watch you step into this, they're saying fated and destined chapter of your life. Now, fate is what's written for us, and destiny is what we create. And together we co-create our life. And you have been surrendering when you needed to surrender, Ace of Swords, and that's a little bit of the place where you're at right now. But you're noticing things working in your favor. And you're noticing that you're not alone. There is something here that you've gotten to the bottom of. And you've cleansed either this karma, you have healed a big wound, or just gave yourself some TLC that you really needed. Spend some time with friends, with family, or away from them, depending on your situation. But you decided to put yourself first in a very gentle, loving way. You opened yourself up back to creativity. And because of this, because you've chosen to weave your own way through wounds, weave your own way through the darkness, your inner child is thanking you. And they're bouncing up and down, really excited for this next chapter of your life. Now, there's something that's right under your nose that you might not necessarily be seeing yet, but you know you're excited. And they're saying that's enough for now, simply because your inner child doesn't want to give too much away. There's the Six of Cups. This is something that you've been waiting for a long time, and Six of Cups does indicate inner child healing, and I know that was the Joker popping out here. This is faith. This is when you approach your accidentally, on purpose, your fated destination, not your destined destination. This is when you see what life has had in store for you, and it might seem a little bit scary, but now you have a place to utilize all those tools, but not in a way that is using them as weaponry or as self-defense or to fix something. It's using them in a way that makes you happy, to build something fun, to tap into your creativity, to find freedom. We have 9 and 6 and 3, which is 9. You are stepping into a version of you that your inner child always wanted to be. And your inner child wants you to know that they are proud of you, they are happy for you, they are so grateful and excited that you're stepping into this chapter. And they also want you to know that no matter what, they're always here to talk with you, to giggle with you, to laugh with you, and even to cry with you, happy or sad cry. Your inner child is also, they want you to know, or they want to say, thank you for believing in the magic when no one else could see it, when no one else believed, when no one else wanted to believe, when it was really hard. Thank you for believing in the magic. Because that foundation of love and possibility and healing is what got you to where you are today. I'm going to pull some more tarot cards for you from a traditional deck and see what messages your inner child has for you today. Messages from group number 1's inner child. Messages from group number 1's inner child, please. I'm just hearing you're doing a great job. And to keep playing, keep having fun. We have the 8 of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Your inner child is saying that in some way, you have some sort of abundance in the material realm, okay, that you always dreamed for when you were little. And there's the sacral chakra getting knocked over again. Okay, so this is something that you took creative liberty on in your life. And this can be, maybe you have a little more finances and your inner child wants you to use them to play. Okay, maybe material realm. Okay, maybe you have some, maybe you're able to wear the style you always wanted to wear. And your inner child is saying, so strut your stuff. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more beautiful. You're a bit more abundant in one certain material area of life. Maybe you have more time to create art or to go outside. Maybe you live somewhere really cool. Your inner child is saying, use this. Use this from my perspective. We have the 3 of Pentacles coming out again. You're not alone. You're not the only one that thinks this is cool. You're not the only one. They're saying it wouldn't be, or they're saying don't worry if it's cool or not. Who cares? If you think it's cool, that's as cool as it needs to be. Okay? So I'm going to pull this 3 of Coins. I feel called to. Your inner child wants you to know, again, they're saying that they have a way to tap into you. Maybe you used to speak to your future self a lot when you were when you were a child. Maybe you used to meditate or pray a lot, or maybe you had a very, very strong dream realm, dream vision, okay? There's an indication. You might want to check out my my video on messages from your childhood imaginary friends, some of these spirit guides might want to connect to you or connect you to your inner child. I'm getting that your inner child has been having a situation or a person or something coming up a little bit more than usual lately. This can be, with 6 and 3, okay, this can be like a vision. This can be a vision for the future. This can be a vision for a project, or just a vision, like a premonition that you had a lot when you were younger. Now, they're saying that there's a reason for this, and whatever this represented, whether it was literal and tangible, or whether it was metaphorical, metaphysical, symbolic, you are entering into the chapter of life that will make all of this make sense. So that's exactly why this is coming up again for you right now. They don't want you to focus on the physical part of your life. Like, they don't want you to focus on where you physically were during this. They want you to focus on where you internally were when you were visioning this. And that will tell you more information than I'm hearing than you think, and even more information than you need to know right now, which is adorable. There's something out there that is waiting for you to arrive, to approach, and it's going to be something that makes your heart just very, very happy. Your inner child is very, very, they're saying proud of you. Again, they're showing me this book that I used to love. Okay, well, I guess it's a series. There's Things Not Seen and Things Hoped For. And so there can be messages for you in those books as well. But I guess the gist of what's coming out here is, in the first book, there is a boy who like turns invisible, and then he gets to fully be himself. And there's only one person who can understand them, and it's a blind girl who's able to tap into energy. So she's able to feel and hear and understand him. It's like somebody who is physically invisible and somebody who is physically overlooked, because they meet in the center. And then in the second book, they're drawing me to this part where this girl is a phenomenal musician, and she has like a room that's all padded and soundproofed where she practices. And so she thinks, oh, well, it's also, I don't want to bother anybody, so I soundproofed the room. So I made sure that whoever I lived with couldn't hear. Only to find out later that someone was listening the whole time and that the room wasn't actually soundproofed. They just wanted her to play and express fully without thinking she was being heard or listened to. And so there's this energy going on here where maybe you have felt with 888, okay? Maybe you felt like you were hidden away or like you were overlooked. Your inner child feels like you don't know exactly what's coming up next. But your angel spirits and guides have an ear out. They have an eye out for you for this next chapter of life. Now we have the 8 of Swords, okay, and the 8 of Wands. There's something here connecting to that second storyline that I just mentioned, where you are tapping into abundance in expressing yourself. Now there might be something that you are wondering how it will be perceived. Okay, when you say this, there can be something that's the truth about you that you feel a little bit shy or nervous about, something that stresses you out, or something that you just keep to yourself. And you're wondering if it's the right thing to do, okay, to express this part of yourself, to be this part of yourself. You're going to find yourself in an environment that supports and encourages and enhances this in a way that all of these worries and struggles get totally dispelled. And that's not where you're currently at, but that is where you're going. It's where you're going to land. And you're going to be safe here. You're going to be abundant here. And it's going to make it a lot easier for you to, I'm hearing like integrate or like assimilate, to get together with groups of people. We have the 3 of Pentacles out here twice. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to like socialize or join a community, because it's going to be like-minded people. It's going to be those who cannot be seen or those who get overlooked. Those who aren't comfortable being heard, and those who wish to listen to them. It's that kind of like those misfits, the oddballs, but in a beautiful way. In a beautiful way. Now we have 888 indicating that this next chapter for you is going to be so abundant, and your inner child is saying you are almost there. The wheel is spinning for you, and right now, if your inner child sees who you are right now. Your inner child sees your life right now. They see the way that you live. They see the way that you act. They see your thoughts and your feelings, and somehow they have a sneak peek into your life, okay? And they think it is so cool, like so cool. Look at the eyes on Chihiro on this 9 of Cups. They're like, whoa, look at all these presents. They're like, you did all of that? Like, that's so cool. Like, You live here, you have all of this, and it can be little tiny things, you know? It's like, whoa, you have a bunch of rocks in your car? Like, oh my gosh, you have a dog? Like, just beautiful, beautiful things. And your inner child is saying, to remember how excited we are. Remember how excited we are. And allow yourself to be grateful for the little things in life. There may have been times in your childhood when you didn't even know if you would make it to this point in your life. And they're saying, be grateful that you're alive. Look at all of the things that you have done. Look at all of the things that you are. Look at all the things that you have. Look at all of the things that you can do. You are phenomenal. And your inner child is saying that there's a passion of theirs that they want to start re-expressing. And you know about this, okay? There might be more than one for some of you. And they're saying that you are safe now. You're safe now to express this. And that you finally have, that part would have been like the yin, and the other part, you've learned the yang. So now you get to culminate them together and create something beautiful. Or it can be the other way around, okay? But you had one piece of the puzzle when you were a child, and the other piece, you learned why you had that piece of the puzzle. Like, things start to make sense. So now you have the full picture, and your inner child is saying, go for it, go for it. Some of you might be moving soon. Some of you might be, like traveling soon. Some of you might be learning a new language or meeting somebody who speaks a different language than you, literally or metaphorically as well. Let's see, I'm seeing 1997, 1996, 1993, 1998. I'm seeing 2003, 2008. Okay, it can be significant for any of you. 1983, 89, 87, 86, 88. Okay. Speak up, because people will want to listen to you. Especially the things that you think no one wants to hear. Okay, that's coming up as well. I'm hearing if you build it, they will come as well. Someone needed to hear that. Okay, so I'm going to take these Animal Oracle cards for you to wrap up the way that your, the way your inner child is feeling about where you're currently at in life. You have Red Kangaroo Responsible. Okay, your inner child thinks that you are so responsible and that you're awesome, that you go with the punches, but also that when it comes to your safety, your material realm, your security, you might be a little bit overly responsible. We can always feel like we can be more responsible, right? And sometimes you need to play a little bit more. Notice we have 39, which is the past and the future, as we talked about in the very beginning. This is coming around full circle beautifully. And this is the number 12, which indicates closing out a chapter. And as we talked about in the beginning, this is also your subconscious. It's your dream realm. It's receiving messages. It's connecting with your angels. This is past the 1 to 10 physical dynamic. 11 is electric and 12 is magnetic. This is what this is. It's creativity. You are so responsible. And yes, there's always another way that you can be a little bit more responsible in any area of life. Sure, that's how life works in the material realm. But your inner child is saying you are so responsible. Your inner child is looking around at the people in their life, and they're saying you are a lot more responsible than some of the people that they're around they're saying adults, some of the adults in their life, okay? So cut yourself some slack and know that you're doing a great job, okay? There's this indication of you being like a master. We have 33, a master of what it is that you do, or a master of something, a master of being responsible, your ability to get through anything. Your ability to respond rather than to react, to come through love, to come through inner knowing. And they want you to know that where you're at right now it's phenomenal. They're saying you can cut yourself some slack. You don't have to be so responsible all the time. And the fact that you are is amazing, but your inner child is saying, but don't forget to hold my hand while you do it. Don't forget to hold my hand and to weave me into your life as well. Bowerbird Dowry, okay? And Wombat Gentle Aggression. I actually love this, okay? Your inner child is saying, don't forget that we have a little bit of fight in us too. Don't forget that we have a little bit of spunk in us too, and not in a violence way, because I don't condone that, but certainly in a, like, you know, you're very responsible. You know what things are worth. You know your worth is what's coming out very strongly here. You know your worth, and you know that nothing can take that away from you. We have numbers of the past, the future, and then 6, the present moment. 4 is also a number of the present moment. Right now, you are very much aware of your worth. And with Gentle Aggression with the Wombat here, you are cute and sweet and loving, but it doesn't mean you don't have boundaries. And your inner child is saying that they're so proud of you for fully embodying all of your energy, standing in your power, and being soft and gooey and loving. Also, knowing that you can, I'm hearing take a punch and dish one out, not literally, okay, probably, but that you can take a punch and dish one out, just like in life in general, because you're so responsible and you have that fight to you, you have that aggression. You're not a pushover, but you still choose to remain soft. Your inner child is saying, many other people might not know this, but you know how much of a fighter you are. You know how much of a fighter you've been. And that might have something to do with this truth that you want to speak out, okay? You know how strong you are. And it's like they're alluding to the fact that nobody else really does. And because of this, your inner child is saying that there are so many more options than you're currently seeing in your life. And you can create, you can paint, you can do anything you want with your life. So let yourself get creative with it. Let yourself have a little bit more fun than you currently are. You are responsible enough. You are way more than worthy enough. You have way more than you need in some area of life right now, but you're still experiencing some sort of shock of that being not the case. And to close off this reading with a 7, notice here we have 6776, okay? And we have 77. You are exactly where you always planned to go. You're always where the divine told you were going to go. You're exactly where the divine led you, right under your nose. And right now you're in a bit of a transition period. You're in a bit of a period of speaking up, of letting yourself be seen. And they're saying this is the new chapter of your life. This isn't temporary. It's finally time for you to approach those magic gates and have faith that you are about to step into the community, to step into the place where you've belonged this entire time. That energy of being a misfit or being an oddball or a one-off or something like this. Well, there are millions of people in the world who feel that same way. And you are together creating a beautiful Merkaba of light. So allow yourself to exude your light so brightly that others are able to see you. And the thing is, you've been doing this on autopilot, accidentally, not in order to be seen, but you'll realize that people start seeing your light as a beacon, as a lighthouse, and those searching for that are going to find you. And those who do the same are going to hold your hand. Okay, group number 1, that was a channeled message from your inner child. They love you so much, and they think that you are such a really cool and responsible adult. They're like, you are so responsible. You get your stuff done. Look at you. They're so proud of you. And your inner child would love to give you a great big hug right now and just whisper something silly into your ear. I'm hearing like sprinkle some pixie dust onto your life, okay? So if you have a moment to take a minute or 2 or 10 and just hang out with your inner child, give them a great big hug and let them give you the magic instead of the other way around. I'm getting this pile has done a lot of inner child healing, okay? Instead of you going back and giving your inner child a hug when they need it, your inner child's like, hey, let me be there for you. Remember that life is a playground. Remember that we're here to enjoy ourselves. Yes, life, you need to be responsible, but know your worth, stand on that. You've already built your nest. You have an extra twig. You've got some oomph in you, and you're also cute and cuddly. What are we going to do with that now? What are we going to do with that? Okay, so they're showing me this again. They want me to close the reading out here. In Spirited Away, when Chihiro and No Face are on the train, there is this question of being surrounded by shadows. They don't know where they're going. They're in the middle of nowhere. They don't know what kind of persona they're going to meet up with. And just know that everything turns out okay. And with this 4 of Wands card, this indicates a happy home, a happy life, a happy union. This indicates, this is like the iconic imagery of the movie too. It's like, this is the part of your life where you look back at, and this is like your signature. This is that part of your life that you're going to look back at and go, wow, I did that. And it might not look that way right now. It might not feel that way right now because you're so responsible, because you are so focused on just being the best version of you that you can. And know that sometimes when you take a little bit of extra responsibility, especially when it is out of love for others, this is where some of the best gifts lie in your life, because you went out on a limb, because you were the one who made that move. You were the one who made that choice. So while you're in a transitional period, let yourself speak up. Let yourself continue to be responsible, but be responsible for your inner child as well. Not just protecting them, not just feeding them, not just nurturing them or housing them, but letting them play, letting them out, letting them giggle, letting them be maybe a little bit irresponsible at times, in a safe and beautiful way. create, and continue to move through love, continue to move through divine inspiration, and check out Carissa's reading about which alter ego from Studio Ghibli your inner child is, and also check out my reading about your this group specifically. Check out my reading about messages from your childhood imaginary friends. Someone has a message for you that they really, really, really want you to listen to. So if you hear that and it rings a bell for you, go ahead and head over there. I'd like to thank you so much for being here, group number 1. You are beautiful and amazing, and your inner child thinks you are oh so cool. What a cool adult you've turned into. So I'd like to thank you, and I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Namaste. Hi there, group number 2. Namaste, and thank you so much for being here today. Today we are taking a look at channeled messages from your inner child. I'm using my little Spirited Away deck, and as we know, today's reading is a collaboration with the lovely Carissa over at 9 3/4 Tarot, and we are doing a Studio Ghibli themed inner child collab. And the card that you selected here is, oh look, at the Ace of Pentacles. So there's definitely a new beginning here. We're gonna see what your inner child wants to talk to you about, but right off the bat, you chose the second group, which indicates putting something into action. This can be luxury as well. And looking at the actual image from the film on this card, this is, I'm hearing Dirty Work by Steely Dan, and it's quite fitting actually. So here represents at a bathhouse, a very, very dirty creature comes in to get washed, and nobody wants to take the job. It just seems like it's way too much to take care of. And they're saying that this might indicate or represent your family ancestral line. This might represent some of the things that you've gone through, or some of the people or experiences that your soul has worked its way through. Now, nobody wants to help clean this creature, this spirit, because it is assumed that this is like a stink bug type spirit. I can't remember exactly what it's called. And what actually happens is Chihiro, the little girl, takes on the task of cleaning this spirit all by herself, which is a lot. But it ends up that within this this pile of muck, it's like a good luck spirit. It's like a master, elder, healer, luck-bringing, beautiful, ethereal, very rare creature that blesses Chihiro with good luck. And there's something like this with the Ace of Pentacles. You have done a lot of hard work. You've done a lot of inner work with your inner child, and they're showing me literally somebody's like inner child, like walking a path with like a huge pack on its back, very heavy, like legs are shaking, it's kind of scary, and it's raining outside, and you're just behind it spiritually, just nudging it along. It's okay, I've got you, I'll hold your hand, I'll help you carry some of this stuff, just one more step, you've got this, before you finally lead your inner child into, they're showing me sunshine. And this is really beautiful. Your inner child is saying thank you. Thank you for helping it make sense of so many things that did not once make sense. Your inner child is saying thank you for doing all of the hard work. Thank you for doing the dirty work. Because there's an indication of you knowing when you were a child, or at least receiving this message intuitively or through your dreams, or hoping and praying for this or whatever, but having awareness that I'm going through this right now, and my future is going to be so bright that it makes all of this worth it. And I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know why, but I just know that if I keep hanging on a little bit longer, if I keep pushing, if I walk that extra step, all of this is going to turn around, and it's going to make all of this worth it. And it might look like you can't see what's on the inside, and it might look like the task of all tasks. It might look like the experience of all experiences. I'm hearing trauma, okay? I am trauma informed, but I don't want to speak on that a lot because everybody's is so different. But there's something like this that's coming up, and it turns out that after you finish like doing all of this work, doing all of this healing, all of this cleansing, there's luck that's underneath. And with the Ace of Pentacles, this indicates that this is a lot of very physical changes you would have needed to make about yourself or your life, and alternatively, or additionally, physical changes that are happening for you as well. Now, I'm going to pull messages specifically from your inner child, but in a larger generalized sense, just off this first card, before we get into all of that, your inner child wants you to know, they need you to know that better things are coming. They're out there for you, and they're coming, they're on their way. there are a lot of physical manifestations that are on their way for you now that you've released the need for them. There's this indication of survivalism that's coming up here. There's a little bit of an energy of like the shadow of the Ace of Pentacles combined with this card. This can be just working so hard just to survive, or just to feel like you have a place in this world, or just to something. And your inner child wants you to know that they're safe now. They're okay. They're sheltered. They're emotionally stable. They have food in their belly. They're surrounded by people who love them. And your inner child is saying, I'm hearing that song from The Lion King, He Lives in You. He lives in you. Yes, gorgeous song. Your inner child within you right now, in your present moment, they feel rested. They feel happy. They feel safe. And now there's a new beginning that's coming for your life. And your inner child wants to almost sprint towards it a little faster than your adult self does. It's almost like the heaviness that your inner child was carrying, that you helped it out with. Now you are carrying the tail end of it here. Might be a little bit tired just to take this next step. You might be a little bit like, oh, doing something again. But your inner child feels great now. Now your inner child wants to kind of like pull you like a dog pulling somebody on a skateboard, is what they're showing me. So have faith. And if your inner child is leading you a little bit in this next chapter, know that this is for a reason. And again, your inner child wants you to know that they feel safe. They feel abundant. They feel cared for. And that it's all thanks to you. And they're saying thank you. And they're saying to look around too. They're showing me 44. Look around at all that you've learned, all that you've acquired. Look around at all that you are, all that you've become. They want you to really, really see things from their perspective, but they also really want you to see the fact that you are safe. You have built a home for yourself, whether this has to do with like a group of friends that feel like home, or maybe you bought a house and that feels like home. Maybe you have some new pets or a new career or something, but you've built a home for yourself in a particular area of life. And this is something that your inner child is saying is priceless and that they're very grateful for, because there's almost an indication of whatever this is, you would have built it or found it or stumbled into it or grown into it without the help of your inner child, because you were growing into this energy and doing work with them. And now your inner child is saying, come on, now it's the good part, let's go, let's go. So this is awesome. And of course, this is showing as well your strength and going through things that other souls would not have chosen to incarnate with. Your strength in dealing with people that it would have been easier just to either succumb to this energy or remove it instead of working through it. How is this a reflection of me? How can I heal my inner child? How can I not just tell myself, this is it, this is as good as it gets, I'm okay being okay? No, you did the work. You said, this is not fun and I cannot see the end. I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but I'm still gonna try, because if I don't try, what am I doing? Then at least if I don't try, your inner child is saying, you had this choice and you made the choice to walk, because if you didn't try, then you knew for a fact you would always be in that dark tunnel. But since you chose to try, there was at least hope that you would get out of the tunnel. And you did. And you did. And now your inner child is saying, wow, look at this beautiful pasture. Look at this beautiful pasture. I want to go run. I want to go play. I want to go build. I want to create. And you might be like, yeah, but I'm tired. I just did all of this. And your inner child is saying, it's okay. It's okay. I got you. I've got wings so you can fly. You're saying, remember those dreams we used to have when we were little? Remember how everything felt possible? Remember when life was a fairy tale before we learned it wasn't supposed to be? Because it can be. It still can be. Someone's inner child is very, very strong spiritually, because it really is like, I'll just channel through you. Okay, so somebody, you might have been a very in tune child. You could have like synesthesia. Okay, you could be tapping in with other realms. When you were younger, you could be very psychic or intuitive. You could have spent a lot of time meditating or praying or even creative writing. Things that weren't so creative, if you know what I mean, like channeled messages. So let's see. Messages, thank you. They're like, as soon as I got your attention, I played along. So your inner child loves attention, okay? Loves attention. Maybe it didn't get enough of it when it was young, okay? or you were born to be a star or something like this. I don't know. We have the Three of Cups. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Wands. Glorious cards here. 8 of Wands, or 8 of Swords. I'm sorry. Okay. A little bit of stress. 10 of Swords. Okay, we're releasing this. Okay. At the back of the deck, you have the Queen of Wands. And, okay, I love this. Sorry. I'm going to turn these cards sideways so you can see the images a little bit more because this deck is so precious. Okay. So, you have gotten off at the next stop. Okay. And this is a place of celebration. Not only this, but you're in you're kind of in this energy where you have means to celebrate, you have reason to celebrate, and you're kind of almost looking for, okay, but what's wrong? If I celebrate now, what if I'm being preemptive? Okay, what if this is as good as it gets and I need to sustain for the chapter after this? I can't have time to sit down and relax and celebrate and enjoy myself and have fun, because as soon as the fun times are over, then whatever energy or time or resources I used in order to have fun, then they're gone. And then the next chapter of life, what if that's not celebratory? What if I need what I would have used? What if I wasn't just constantly preparing for the future? And your inner child is coming back and saying, you know, that mindset got you really, really far. And I'm so grateful that you were able to lift me up like that, because you really got me out of the mud. But now it's safe. Your inner child feels safe and you are safe. And so they really want you to focus. They're showing me the space in the channel, okay, between your solar plexus and heart chakra right here. And they're also showing me your root chakra. So they want you to start feeling safe and expressing the happiness and power and self-confidence. I almost said self-consciousness. See that right there, okay? That self-confidence that you have grown yourself into. Now, we do have the Seven of Wands clarifying the Ace of Pentacles, and this is beautiful because this is, sometimes this depiction is somebody who is like striving towards an uphill battle, but they finally get to the top of that mountain summit. And this also indicates somebody who is successful and then some. This is like overcompensating, okay? So that with the Ace of Pentacles, this is saying that you might have an opportunity to slow down in the near future, or to celebrate, or to have some fun, or to maybe make, to do something that you might deem as less than responsible, or something that is not the absolute highest vibrational choice. And your inner child is not saying, don't go back on your growth, don't fall into old patterns, but you do get to have fun. You do get to enjoy this life while you're here. Allow yourself to be empowered and to enjoy your life. You know, self-care is so much more than taking care of yourself, like objectively. There are so many different ways to take care of yourself. Self-care is so much more than like showing up for yoga, showing up for Pilates. It's so much more than meditating. It's so much more than building a business or showing up to work or being fiscally responsible. Responsibility is a big part of self-care, but a big part of balance is being thrown off balance, because we live in a dualistic paradigm. We have the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Swords, and they're saying that some of you might feel a little bit weird or queasy about that. And also, I also say that lightly because I think that we are, you know, on an ascension journey, and it's beautiful. But on this ascension journey, the difference between the 8 and 10 of Swords here is the 2 of Swords. There's a decision here to release this anxiety, or to allow yourself to release thought patterns that aren't serving you. To look at yourself where you truly are. Look at her. She's running through the shadows. Things might look a little bit scary, but this is only because the truth of these scary things are still unseen. Whatever your mind is projecting is going to be what your reality is. And you might still be figuring out what to make that, right? And that's okay. That's normal. That's healthy. That's natural. But you're the one that gets to decide now. And your inner child is saying something about this autonomy. Maybe when you were a child, you didn't get to decide. You didn't get to make decisions for your own. You weren't asked, oh, what are your hobbies? What do you want to do? What do you want to eat today? How are you feeling? This is a chapter where you get to take creative liberty of your life. It's not just trying to figure out how to have enough of something, or how to survive, or how to be okay, among situations that are not okay. You're on the other side of this paradigm, and we have the Queen of Wands here saying that you have been led. Your spirit team is so working hand in hand with you here. your spirit team knows you extra well. There are a handful of souls that are working with you right now in the spiritual realm that have incarnated alongside you in the past. Now they're showing me Chihiro and Haku. Obviously, I love them. But some of these energies, they know you. They know you from a different life. They know some of the tendencies that you have now that have been carried along from past incarnations or parallel incarnations. And they're holding your hand every step of the way. There's this energy of love moves mountains. It always does, and it can. And that's exactly why they chose to be on your spirit team, because they love you so much, and you have loved them so much. Like, there's so much unconditional love here that you can move mountains. You can make the impossible possible together. And now you're in this chapter of life where you have done it. I don't know what you've done, but you've done it. And you've closed out this chapter of feeling like you can't enjoy the small things in life because the big things need to get taken care of. Or there's so many stressors in life that it just makes it impossible to exercise healthy self-care. But you've closed out this chapter, and now your dreams are filling this energy. So when you start to dabble back into things that maybe you needed to leave behind for one reason or another, it might feel a little bit like these old energies are coming back up, and your inner child is saying, it's okay, it's safe. I am safe now. You don't have to worry about me going off the handle. You don't have to worry about me surviving. You don't have to worry about me not having a say in the matter, because this chapter of your life, your inner child has all the say in the matter, and you are the one who worked very hard in order to get yourself where you are. There might be kind of an energy of you dealing with a lot of ancestral karma. Okay, you might come from a family where it's not just one thing or the other thing, it's like all of the things, like karma-wise or trauma-wise or difficulty-wise. And just, there's this, your inner child is showing me this, like, this purity, and also this patience. It's serenity. And it's not saying that there's no pain there. It's saying that you were patient because you were shown, or you had an idea, or you had hope in walking through that tunnel. Because you knew that if you could be just patient and make it through this chapter of your life, you would get to the next chapter and the chapter after that, where these things no longer exist, where these things can no longer hurt you. I'm hearing the song Mean by Taylor Swift. So your inner child wants you to know that your 10 of Pentacles and your 10 of Swords don't cancel each other out. Don't let them cancel each other out. You kind of might be feeling like there's so much clarity that almost brings, like, well, who are you to feel happy when you've experienced so much sadness? Or who are you to feel sad when there's so much happiness around you? And your inner child is saying, let go of that. Let go of that paradigm. Let yourself create from the place that you're at. Now, you definitely have some spiritual wherewithal about you. I say that as a general term because you can be highly psychic, you can be very spiritual, you can be very enlightened, you can be very high vibrational, you can be tapped into your 5th dimension permanently. This is why your inner child is coming out saying that you've completed the job. Okay, so this can be ascension, this can be inner child healing, this can be like healing through traumas, okay, things like this. And because of this, you've been able to see the unseeable and get onto the other side of this. They're showing me this fear, this pain that you were supposed to have when you were a child, but you didn't. But you didn't. And wherever that source of strength came from, that is the full embodiment of who you are today. And your inner child wants to put that into perspective for you. There's something here about knowing that you don't need to be strong all the time anymore. And even if you decided not to be, you still would be stronger than most. And it's not a comparison game, okay? But your inner child is saying, take a realistic look at everything around you. Take a realistic look at everything that you've done with your life. And take a realistic look at maybe the statistics in some of those areas of life. Okay, some of the difficulties that you've been through. You are doing phenomenal. Now, we know that comparison is oftentimes the thief of joy, but honestly, give yourself more credit. You don't have to sneak away from happiness like a, I don't know, bandit in the night. You don't have to sneak away from giving yourself credit because you were raised not to do so. You have the choice now to honor your inner child. You have the choice now to make your life look however you want it to look. There is no right or wrong, and anybody who wants to put you on trial for that or tell you what you're supposed to do, these are going to be the exact same energies, or same energy, different body, that you were patient enough to get to the other side of as a child. So I'm hearing someone's inner child or inner teenager most likely say like middle fingers up. Okay. So there's kind of an energy of knowing that you are guided through this next chapter and that you're the one that gets to make the choice. And making this leap of faith, it's like simultaneously the scariest and most exciting thing your inner child has ever done. But it's not really scary. It's like it's excited anxious, not nervous anxious. And your inner child is saying that feeling that it doesn't mean that it's bad all the time. It doesn't always mean it's going to lead to something bad. Now, we do know that when you feel butterflies or something like this, something can be karmic. It can mean inflammation in your system, in the mind, body, or spirit, okay? But your inner child very, very strongly wants you to know that when you are excited about something because you worked really hard for it and you are at the other side of the tunnel, it's not a bad thing to be excited and glad that you made it out of the tunnel. And people who are still in the tunnel, I don't believe you, you don't make it out of the tunnel, there's no end to the tunnel. Well, they didn't make it yet. And it's not for anybody else to tell you what your journey is, or can be, or should be. Now you're free. Your inner child is saying, thank you for setting me free. Thank you for freeing me. They're saying, remember how we can fly? They keep saying that. Maybe you had a lot of dreams when you were younger where you could fly. Maybe when you were little you used to pretend that you could fly a lot. They're showing me somebody like putting on a blanket as like a cape and just like sprinting around their house like woo. Okay. They're also showing me like Superman. You could have had like a superhero thing. Okay. And they're also showing me perhaps like another lifetime where your consciousness in like past, present, future, parallel lifetime was able to like maybe physically fly, or maybe you had spirit guides that could fly and they were like, don't forget that everything is possible. Okay, so there's definitely an energy like this coming up. Nine of Wands. Okay, Nine of Wands with the Five of Cups. Okay, there is an energy, you're a little bit guarded about letting something go because it might have been either a coping mechanism. This can be like strength. They're showing me like with the Nine of Wands very literally like, okay, they're showing me like a tool belt or like a weapon or like an armor. Okay, so there's something that you've held on to for a long time that it's time to let go of, and you know this. Okay, and this is likely something internal. This can be a thought process. With the Wands, it's most likely something, maybe it's like a creative pursuit or outlet or a man-made paradigm or social construct that is not true but would have gotten you to where you are because it told you if you do A, it'll lead you to B, and then you get to C. Okay, this would have been some sort of like man-made social construct, and it's going to be something that is a bandwagon-y thing. Okay, or there's some sort of, yeah, no, your inner child is saying, I hit the nail on the head with the bandwagon thing. Okay, so keep an eye out for things like this because it's time to release these narratives. And we do have 1111 coming out here. Your inner child wants you to know that you no longer need to be defensive. You're at the time of your life where things are starting to work out for you. They're balancing, and you're still holding your sword. Now, a lot of your angel spirits guides are around you at this time, and if there's a passed on loved one or a few that maybe passed when you were a child, there's an indication of a lot of like guardian angels is the word that's coming to me, which I don't use very often, but a lot of guardian angels around you right now, and you would know these people know these energies. And there are also a lot more on your spirit team, but these are coming through very strongly right now, saying that they're giving you big, big hugs. They're also showing me this pyramid in the background. Okay, you have some knowledge that other people haven't needed to go find. Okay, so because of this, let yourself rest, especially when other people might try to take away your choice or impose upon you a fact that indeed is not a fact. But look at it as a blessing that you have the truth, and also alternatively that they haven't needed to walk the journey that you've walked in order to get to a certain realization, a certain chapter of life, because you can't approach a milestone without putting the work in to walk the path to get there, right? And we also have Two of Cups. Your inner child wants you to know that in this next chapter of your life in the future, things are going to be working out pretty well for you. It's going to go exactly how you envisioned it when you were little. And there is an indication too of abundance, of comfort, of connection, of happiness. And they're showing me like water. Maybe if you were a little kid and there was like a pool you used to go to a lot, or like a friend's house who had a pool, or you used to swim in the ocean or take swimming lessons, or if you were afraid of water, okay, something like this, but in its light attribute energy is going to be coming back up. But they're saying it's time that you fully realize, it's time that you fully understand something. And I'm hearing the song Do You Realize by the Flaming Lips. And I have to say, if you are unfamiliar with the song Do You Realize by the Flaming Lips, the lyrics are, do you realize that you have the most beautiful face? It's just asking you if you realize how beautiful you are and how short this life is and how we're literally on a rock spinning in the ether, so everything is not so serious. And there's also a message coming out that somebody loves you very, very much. Okay, I'm getting a like feminine and nurturing energy that's coming through, letting you know that you are cherished, you are loved, you are special. Okay, now this is from your inner child, and your inner child is saying that they trust this person. They really, really trust this person, and they want you to know that it's okay to celebrate overcoming difficulty. And what might look like just being normal to you might be a reason to celebrate for someone else, and that's valid. And it's not normal to not be okay. It's not normal to be okay all the time. And whenever you feel a reason or the means to get excited or to celebrate, take the opportunity. Okay, it's not going to hurt you later. It's not going to dampen your mood, because the energy of this pile, you are on the up and up right now. And it's okay for you to let yourself feel that, because this is the opposite dynamic of what you had normalized as a child, and no child should have to normalize that. Your inner child is coming through, almost like they're showing me literally this scene with Chihiro and Haku, saying, it's okay now. It's okay. You are safe. I am safe. I was safe because I was with you, and now you are safe because you're with me. Like, your inner child very much is taking the reins here, saying, I am empowered because of you, adult me. And now that you have gotten to this point in your life, now that you see who you are and what you are, and now that you're able to see through my eyes again, let me show you what I would do with this. And they're saying again, don't forget we can fly. Take that. Please take that with a grain of salt, or however it means specifically for you with your connection with your inner child. Please don't go making silly decisions. But maybe you've always wanted to go paragliding, okay? Or windsurfing. Maybe you've always wanted to become a pilot. Or, again, they're showing me maybe you love superheroes. Or this has to do with a past life. Just remember, you can do anything that you want. And your inner child is saying, please, 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 let me take the reins. Let me take the reins. Like, they're saying, finally, it's my turn. It's my chance. I get to be a kid, okay? This is, maybe you didn't really get to experience childhood when you were a kid. And I don't mean like the stage of anatomical growth. I mean like, maybe you weren't allowed to go outside and play. Maybe you didn't get to make friends. Maybe you weren't allowed to go have play dates or have people over. Maybe you weren't allowed to have time to yourself or make your own decisions or play or paint or whatever it is. And now it's like you have the resources to do so, but there's still something here that's like, well, it's too late for that. I'm too old for that. And your inner child is saying, nope, now you're finally old enough where I get to come free. I get to be loose. I get to run around. I get to be free. Yay. And like, there's such this dynamic that's going on here. And I feel someone like wanting to almost like happy cry or cry for your inner child. And they're saying, it's okay. It's okay. I'm also hearing don't cry for me, Argentina. Okay. I don't know if that's significant for any of you. Let's see. Messages from your inner child. They're saying don't pull the oracles yet. They have another message for you. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Don't second guess that for a second. Now, you might be in a transitioning period, okay, but that doesn't mean that you are not where you're supposed to be, okay? Or there might be a lot of why are you here right now? It doesn't make sense. It's not conducive to your future or to your past. You might be kind of in this in-between state. And know that this isn't going to last forever, but your inner child is like, this is so cool, this is so fun, have so much fun doing this, oh my goodness. But you've needed to be so responsible about it too, that it's almost like your inner child wants you to know that you can realize anything that you want. Again, they're saying don't forget you can fly. I guess that's like the phrase of this reading. And they want you to know that you can get through anything, so you might as well get through the stuff that you want to do, get through the stuff that you like. And your inner child again is saying like sneakily, they put you where you're at right now. And they're going to take you out of it too. But when you tap into your inner child a little bit more, you might enjoy where you're at a little bit more. Okay? So there's also this kind of sneaky reason that the universe put you where you're at right now. So take another look at that. So final messages from group number 2's inner child to group number 2. They want me to pull these cards as advice. Okay? They didn't ask that for the other groups. So just know this is advice for you from your inner child. Okay? Group number 2. Wow, all of a sudden it got hard to shuffle these. I do have small hands, but come on, no excuse, girl, come on. Okay, you can be gentler on yourself. That's the first thing that's coming up, because normally I would never give myself a hard time for the way that I shuffle. Okay, here we go. Abundance. Ooh, okay. You are stepping into a period of abundance, and they're saying get comfortable. The more you get comfortable in the energy of abundance, the more it welcomes more abundance to you. And we do have 44 at 444. Wow, with personal protection, echidna at the back of the deck, okay, you can let your guard down a little bit. And when it comes to your abundance, they're saying get used to it. Get used to it and use it the way that your inner child would use it, okay? There's kind of an indication that you might feel the need to take protective measures, okay, because of what you were taught. But notice the crow, it says law here, but it's also a symbol of magic. So don't forget that there are laws of magic that are the laws of the universe, and laws of humans, laws of society, don't, let's just say that is the least correct and least logical and least flowing part of these laws of the universe, okay? Let's not forget that a lot of people just sat in a room one day and decided to make something true, but that doesn't make it true. So we have the abundance card along with ant and strength. The first thing I'm getting is that you are not alone here. Snake with transmutation, frogmouth with secret keeper, and dragonfly with illusion. Okay, I see you. Your inner child is saying that whatever type of energy, maybe this is a type of energy work, or whatever strength of energy, they're saying velocity, okay? Whatever energy it took you in order to transmute these difficult energies from childhood, take another look at these, because this is your superpower. These are your secret strengths, but there is something that you used to get through your childhood and energy that you still have access to tap into this energy, but they want you to utilize this energy without telling other people about it right now. Act and then speak instead of speak and then act, but I'm getting very strongly that your ability to see beyond the veil, or to tap into this energy, but from a way that it's abundant minded. It's not getting you out of a hole or getting you out of a rut or helping you get by or get through something, okay? This is something that is like a secret superpower of yours. This is your biggest 5, 8, and 6. This is super significant, all of these numbers, because you have the love times or whatever this is that you feel like you're supposed to do, that in and of itself is fake. That's phony baloney. Okay, so don't forget how magical you are. Don't forget how magical the realm is. And don't forget it's your vacation. It's your trip. It's your journey. Okay, and we do have another indication that you're to yourself, relatable to yourself, not to other people around you. Okay, so as you grow in abundance, or as you grow in happy paradigms or people or situations around you from a past life here that you don't want to accidentally slip up on, and you might say something that you might not be you might say some particular manifestation of the storyline of Rapunzel, your knowledge of a truth, okay? Or this can be just something that has to relate with your abundance, your strength, and how you do what you do, how you did what you've done, okay? And they're saying this is different from gatekeeping, but don't forget that gatekeepers are very important, okay? There are a lot of divinely placed gatekeepers, and there's a reason why a lot of people right now, it's very trendy in the false light community to try not to gatekeep, to say, oh, gatekeeping is bad. Don't forget, with great power comes great responsibility. Now, you're clearly very responsible, and you clearly have great power. So make sure that you are, not that you need to use it responsibly, because you already do, you already are. That's who and what you are. But don't forget that you are not alone here. And when you get those little whispers, okay, from your spirit guides, from your higher self, when you get those little whispers from your inner child, you always follow them. And everybody doesn't always do that, okay? So make sure that you are aware of the fact that a lot of people in your surroundings right now might still be under this illusion. And know that this will not always be the case. And also, dragons are around you very strongly right now. Dragons can be significant, okay? Your inner child is saying follow the dragon. I'm also hearing follow the yellow brick road, okay? They want you to know that they're very proud of the changes that you've made, the changes that you are making, and to keep it up. They do want you to speak your truth a bit more, but they're saying leave your process out of it. Focus more on your experience through your process. You're going to understand why when it's time. And your inner child is just saying that they love you so much, and let them get your feet out of the mud now, like you did for them so many times. They love you, and they're here, and they want to guide you around your new life a little bit. They want to explore these different areas that you've unlocked for yourself. They're showing me like a video game map where you like unlock different like areas that you can go to, and your inner child is like, let me go play, let's go explore. Okay, so this is beautiful. So that's all I have for you, group number 2. This was a channeled message from your inner child. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. It sounds like you have a lot of really fun, exciting adventure to explore, so that's amazing, and I love you so much. Thank you for being here. All right, namaste. Hi there, group number 3, namaste, and welcome to your channeled message from your inner child. Today, we are taking a look at this little Spirited Away deck, and the card that you selected is the Ace of Cups. Now this is beautiful. Your inner child wants to thank you for building it a support system. There are some people in your life that you have continued to hold on to that are going to play a larger role in your life from now on. And your inner child is thanking you for sustaining these in your life that are no longer present. And your inner child is also thanking you for this. Although there is a little bit of not animosity, but a little bit of a touchiness here as well. Your support system is so important. Now here on this card, we see Chihiro hiding behind Lin. And we know that when Chihiro was first assigned to her position at the bathhouse in Spirited Away, the movie, she was hired to be Lin's assistant. Not only is Lin a trustworthy indication, a huge indication of a support system coming to play, but your inner child wants you to know that everything is not what it seems when it comes to the people in your life. You might be overlooking some people that love and care about you very much, and there are some other people that with them a little bit because they are trying to get either like approval or attention or love from some sort of archetype that was unable to deliver this to you, either in your childhood or from a past life. Now your inner child is saying that they're sorry if they're getting in the way, but there's almost this very, very like tender feeling that's coming alongside this, where they might feel that there's a deep sense of like emotional depth and discomfort, perhaps shame or grief or fear, when they perceive themselves as doing something wrong or incorrectly, particularly when it comes to somebody that they love. Now, I can see for you that you have done a great job at keeping your inner child safe. You've done a great job at doing the emotional work. I can see that you've matured a lot, that your emotions are very balanced. And I can also see that the way that you treat people with love and honor and respect is truly you treating people the way that you want to be treated. Now, we don't always receive this in return. So this is where your inner child is a little bit almost antsy a bit. There's an energy of, will this person treat me with love in return? Will that person treat me with love in return? How about this person or that person over there? And your higher self, but it also feels like a healed version of your inner child is coming through to say, it's quality over quantity, my love. It's quality over quantity. There's an indication that perhaps your parents weren't there for you, or weren't there for you in the way that you needed, or at all. There's a bit of maybe the fact that Chihiro, the child here, is Lin's assistant, his keeper, the movie / book. So there's and spiritually sovereign being, and perhaps a little bit more as like an object or a possession or a tool, like journaling. I'm seeing somebody like singing or writing music, but you can be whoever you want to be. You can grow or to mourn. There's this energy of strength to your inner child, but also this element of being afraid of doing something wrong. They're showing me like your light is so. There's kind of this little part of you that feels about those words still haunting you, perhaps, or know that your support system is there to support you too. It's not just support if it's a one-way street. For always being real with me. Thank you for always supporting me. Thank you for so supportive. You're so caring that you know how to act like this to be. There's this thing coming through as well where it's like your inner care about each other so much they decide to treat everybody like that except for me. And it's because you feel so, it's because you seem to be doing so fine on your own. And it's because you needed to go without it that people just assume that you're fine. This kind of goes along a little bit with this energy of when you are open to receiving from others, you will be. But when you don't need it because you overflow your own cup, then people see that you always have an overflowing cup. So what would they pour into you for? People love fixing people that don't want to be fixed. And you wanted to heal. You wanted to grow. You wanted to be fulfilled and complete in happiness, and happy and healed and grown. And you took the initiative to do that on your own. But there's still kind of this energy of looking back and feeling lonely. And seeing other people who are in the same energy and wondering, well, then why aren't they in my life? Or seeing other people who know how to treat people like this and saying, well, then how come not them? Why are they there for people that treat them like crap? But they're not there for people who are nice for them, nice to them. And so we're going to talk to your inner child about this a little bit today. Your inner child feels a bit like a warrior to me. And it feels like somebody who would have gotten like drafted into being a warrior, not somebody who decided to show up because they have a passion for fighting. It feels like somebody who didn't have a choice and needed to be strong in the areas that they could possibly be conceived as weak. They're showing me, who are they showing me? They're showing me figures from cartoons, but I'm not able to put like my name on it right now. Let's see. Messages from group number 3's inner child to group number 3. So that was a lot of information off the first card. So let's see. Inner child of group number 3. What if you could tell them anything? Because I feel like there's some communication that wants to come through. If you could tell your adult self anything, inner child of group number 3, what would you tell them? What do you want them to know? There's something that's around you that was a lie, or somebody told you something that was a lie when you were younger, and you believed it to be true until you got older. Okay, there's something that you found out wasn't true, or something you found out was a lie, or something that was hidden from you, or deception. And your inner child wants space to cry about this. They want an outlet. Okay, they want an outlet for this. This can be a journal, this can be a friend, this can be a therapist. Okay, we have King of Swords. They want you to speak up. And if you do speak up, many people will listen. because there are so many people that feel the same way, whether or not they've been in the same situation as you. Your inner child, your own inner child, can see straight through to the inner child of other people, and that's not something everyone can do. Some people see right through to people's hearts, some people see right through to people's higher selves. You might be able to do both of these, but you certainly see right through to people's inner child. You have the Nine of Wands, feeling a little bit guarded, but it's interesting because the card for the Nine of Wands is actually Chihiro on Haku's back. And this is a moment after she heals him. So the kind of timeline here is this is pointing to a past life regression or memory that your inner child may have been aware of. Okay? Haku helps Chihiro, and because of this, Chihiro then helps Haku. And because of this, he's then able to help her again. And then after all of this, like mutual co-regulation and co-healing occurs, then she's able to help him remember who he is. And there's this famous moment in this movie that I love where she's like, Haku, don't you remember your real name? And he says, no, but for some odd reason, I remember yours. And your inner child is saying not to downplay the brightness of your light, not to dim your light for anybody, because you being that bright is helping people remember their own brightness. And it's not fair, but they're saying that you've gone from a warrior to a light warrior, and that you're not alone. Birds can be significant. Okay, there were 2 birds flying outside my window east in the spiritual direction of learning in Jupiter. And then there were 4 birds. Okay. This indicates, like, to me, 4 of wands, 4 of east, 4 of fire. Okay. Things are working out in your favor on the longer scheme. But there's this energy where you right now, when you tap into your inner child, there's this feeling of how long is long enough? How long is this cycle? Okay. And your inner child is saying, actually, as opposed to most things in your life, I actually have the bigger picture here. And I want you to know that you are almost there. That's why it's getting harder right now. We have the 3 of Wands and the 8 of Swords, and we do have the 2 of Coins popping out of the back of the deck with the 6 of Cups, which does indicate perhaps somebody thinking about you, nostalgia, past life regression, and also inner child healing. I feel called just to do a stack of 4 here. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm always listening. With the 8 of Swords, okay, there's kind of this indication that you are stepping into a future path. And when you think about this, there's a little bit of anxiety about, well, you know where you want to go. You know where you're headed. Your inner child is leading the way, and so is your higher self. But as you walk these steps, it's like, are you going to continue to be stressed? Are you going to continue to be carrying these burdens on your own? And here we have the King and Queen of Swords. You're going to be able to connect with at least somebody. There's the 2 of Pentacles again. I'm going to pull it since it really wants to come out. Okay. You're going to get to connect with somebody who you get to relate with on a verbal sense, on an intellectual level. Okay, somebody's going to be seeing you for who and what you are, meeting you there, and being able to relate with you and match your energy here. Now, they want me to talk about this really quickly. Now, when Chihiro first gets to the bathhouse, she meets this spider-like spirit named Kamaji, this guy right here. And he is the first person to witness Chihiro's humanity. And he's able to see right through her and see. So, with 2 swords cards, the King and the Queen coming out, especially with this particular scene, this is very powerful. You might be walking through the shadows of your own mind right now. You might be tapping into some darker energies or having some nostalgic memories that you are trying to find the root cause of, or the light to. And these kind of lights here, they're kind of reminding me a bit of the red light district, okay, in Amsterdam. So some of you might live there or have been there or something like that. Okay. There is kind of this energy, and this porch kind of reminds me of Courage the Cowardly Dog, so that can be significant for some of you as well. I always like to call out the signs, even if I don't always get them off the bat. And so your inner child is showing this direction of healing and reapproaching some corners of maybe your mind, or maybe your speech patterns or your thought patterns that used to not serve you or used to be scary, or where you needed to be an energetic warrior but didn't get to speak up on that, or something of that energy. And now, showing the energy progressing in this way, whatever this is, you already know this energy, or you've come into contact with this energy, or with something that has been connected to this energy. Because all of these little cute little ashy fluff balls, they all live in the boiler room with this guy as well. So with the Three of Wands and the Two of Pentacles here, your inner child wants you to know that you took the right path, or you're on the right path. If you made a big decision lately, you made the right choice. And your inner child stands by that, even if it was difficult, especially if it was difficult. We do have the Knight of Cups at the back of the deck. So your inner child wants you to know that they see your future, and it looks very, very bright. And that there is some sort of escalation of the support system around you that's going to be beautiful and bold and very special. It's going to be precious. They're showing me like a precious gemstone or a pearl. And they're saying that this is going to be something that's like finding a diamond in the rough, like finding a needle in the haystack. And it's not going to be mistakable at all whatsoever. So your inner child wants you to know. Oh, I'm hearing Miss Independent immediately. I'm hearing both Kelly Clarkson and Neo, for those of you who are like, which one? Your independence has gotten you very far, but look at this treasure trove behind her. Now, this doesn't directly belong to Chihiro, but there's an indication that you are sitting on some sort of bounty. Now, they were just telling me about a needle in a haystack, a diamond in the rough, and they were saying that don't forget how special you are. Your inner child is very proud of all that you've built for yourself, and they're able to see the untrustworthiness of people that you've surrounded yourself with. They're able to see they're saying gluttony and greed and shame and lust of the people around you at this time, or the people that you've surrounded yourself with in the past. And they're very proud of you for not feeding into this. Let's not forget that when Chihiro decides not to fall for the gold, and she would rather just be a nice, honest person, it turns out that all of the gold was fake anyway, and it all dissolved. And that is such a beautiful analogy for what happens when we leave this life. I'm also getting here that you don't feel like you're missing out on any area of life, particularly that support system that you've been craving for so long. The distinction, your inner child, okay, not your inner teenager. And they're saying two things. They're saying don't discount child, but your adult version of you is saying no, 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 no to this energy. You're trying to push it away from the pain that you've experienced in the past, because patterns repeat themselves until you break them. And you've done so much what it is that you offer them in return, because you are such an overflowing well of abundance and love that people, or whatever it is, because this is going to be that one thing your inner child sees the value in you and wants to cherish and honor that in you. We have the Four people, and it was never you. Your inner child wants you to know it was never you. We have the Emperor, energies, but they're fake love, or they're unhealed love, or it's like a phony support, or it's a support where they gossip, like they're nice to your fake cards. It's built on lust or gluttony or greed, and they want you to put into comparison. You are realizing that you do deserve a solid foundation, this energy that you've been missing, but you're not going to get the fraudulent version of it. Look at this, King of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. Your inner child is saying that they already see this. It's right in front of your face. And it might seem like exactly, I'm hearing all that in a bag of chips. Okay, it might seem like exactly what you're looking for. And you'll notice that you haven't found that really before. I'm hearing this phrase that I once heard that was, when you are around a new person or a new situation, a red flag is when you are asking, how do I make this work? Instead of asking yourself, how does this work for me? Okay, it's instead of how does this work for me, how can I make this work? And so there are so many things in your life where you've been asking yourself, how can I make this work? How can I make this work? But this is something that just shows up and it just works for you. This is that Wheel of Fortune spinning in your favor, and the King of Pentacles, it's not going anywhere. And it's loyal, and it's happy, and it's abundant, and it's permanent. And a lot of you are going, yeah, nice sentiment, but you have that twinkle in your eye, in your heart. You feel that, you resonate, you know that what I'm saying is truth. But there's a bit of melancholy behind it. When this shows up, and you'll be able to identify it, you have Iggy before. So, you'll be able to identify it. And again, your inner child feels you've applied them tactically and that you even help other people through them. But that doesn't for you. You know you've been wishing for this since you were younger. And you know that you've tapped into the spiritual realms as a main source of a main source of love and light and support throughout your life. You could be very excited. Now, in the beginning, kind of like maybe had as the something quite material here, and what matters to you. And you connect spiritually here. Feel like a responsible adult, like your full-grown self and your higher self and your inner child. They're all lightened way. You learned it through the, well, if nobody's going to do the laundry, I guess I have to do it myself. A journal or go to therapy or something like this. You have continually been the adult and the caretaker for others in your life. And your inner child is highlighting two things here. One, this was not fair. You did not deserve this. And two, you to remember this. They want you to remember this. But that's something that you are, like, you're feeding love into that space. And it's that you have butterfly with transformation, echidna with personal protection. Okay, time, a place, a person, energy. Something was off by one. We have a butterfly, an echidna, a cockatoo. We also have an owl. Oh, there's the deception on the number 4. Wow, okay. Well-rounded as a soul, as a being. It's almost like this wisdom almost deceived you into thinking that you had to transform on your own. You always had to protect yourself. You always had to be the one illuminating others. And there's always like this fear of missing out, or this fear of like expressing your whole truth. And almost this like skittish feeling here. Know that you're meant to create something large, something really, really big. Okay, your inner child is saying to go for it, whatever that means to you. They're saying something may not have come up right now, right away, but when you get the urge to create something, do, because you're not here all the time. And we have 33, we have 44, we have 10, and then we have 47. This is saying, essentially, that you have mastered teaching, and you have taught others how to find mastery. Now the cycle is completed. You have illuminated yourself, and you've illuminated others. And the ripple effect that you've made can never be undone, and this is beautiful. And so this energy is now coming back around to you, and there's this like feeling that you get to relax now, and you also get to be excited now. Now you get to play. You get to have, I'm hearing adult resources and a childlike mind. And that's childlike, not childish, because we know who we're talking to here. We're talking to a soul who, they're showing me like a grandfather spirit, like an ancient grandfather, like medicine man, shamanistic, like kind of like an Andean, like Taita or shaman kind of energy, like incarnate. They're showing me this. But like as a little kid, it's like, so you might be the one that was like giving advice to the adults. You might have been the one that was like financially supporting the adults. You could have been the one that was overlooked, but you already knew where to find food. You already knew how to forage. You already knew that you could talk to the plants, to the animals, to the trees. You knew who was safe and who was not. You knew how to connect with spirit. And in fact, you were raised by yourself and by spirit. And it doesn't end like this. You know it doesn't end like this. And I'm hearing, I think this song came out in group number 2 also, so you might want to check that out if it resonates. I'm hearing that song, He Lives in You, from The Lion King. It's like all of your ancestors, they were watching you struggle and be strong when no one should have to go through that. And your inner child wants you to know that they're with you every step of the way, just like you were for them. But they also want you to know that it's okay now. You're okay now. There's this energy. Check out like your lymph nodes. Okay, I just felt like this little pulsing sensation in my lymph nodes. Check your lymphatic system. It's okay for you to deflame now. It's okay for you to breathe, to feel safe, for you to let your guard down. It's safe. They're showing me like fight, flight, or freeze, and they're saying that you can release this now. You no longer need to fight for your life. You don't have to fight to survive, and you don't have to prove yourself to anything or anyone. In fact, you've gotten a lot further with your own 2 feet than many do with fleeting energies trying to keep them around that weigh them down and prevent them from growing. You were a plant that was potted in a corner away from the other plants, but because of that, you had more room to grow. So you grew bigger, larger, with deeper roots, with more abundant harvests, more abundant fruits. And as your fruits are bearing, people are gathering around and they're enjoying the beauty and the abundance and the nutrients that you are providing. And they're saying that as a child, they're using a lot of tree analogies, so you might really like trees or live in nature or want to. They're showing me the Giving Tree, if you're familiar with that story, and I love that book. That was my favorite when I was a little kid. They're showing me the Giving Tree. They're saying as a child, you were very much the giving tree to the adults in your life, even as a child. Giving what you didn't have to give, just for the sake of giving, because of love. And now, they're showing me like a tree that gets to grow all the way to fruition. And it was spaced out. It was separated from the rest, but it's the biggest, most supple and abundant tree in the orchard because it had room to grow. It didn't get weaved around the weeds or the other plants, and it didn't get stunted by spending too much time interacting with others. It merely had space to grow, and so it grew to its fullest potential. So now let yourself relax. Let yourself appreciate the beauty that is you. And this is interesting, but they're also showing me in my mind's eye, they're showing me a little cocopelli. So that can be significant for some of you as well. Or for others of you, look out for spirits or energies you used to connect with when you were a little kid. Some of them are going to be re-entering your life, and they might want to, in a fun, loving, supportive, and healthy kind of way, get into a little bit of mischief with you. It's time that you get to relax, and time that you get to play, and time that you get to be excited. And people are going to be coming to you, not the other way around. So, in lieu of fleeting and falsely presenting connections and support systems, your inner child wants you to know that it was worth it. It's going to be worth it. And that you providing nutrients for others is actually going to be what plants the next orchard altogether. You're going to be the grandmother tree, the grandfather tree. You are that grandparent spirit or that great ancestor spirit. I'm hearing Tunkashila, so some of you can resonate with that as well. A lot of like Mesoamerican indigenous kind of analogies coming out here, so that can resonate for you as well. If not, that's okay. Take what resonates. I'm hearing great teacher. It's like you have been diligent enough to know how to be soft to others, but not in a way where you get stepped on or stepped over, not in a giving tree kind of way. But you still have all that you have to offer, but now you're standing mighty and tall and strong. So don't fear your future. Don't fear the balance. Don't fear connections, because there is a support system that is right around the corner, and or it's already in your life, like creeping its little toe in. Birds are coming out significantly, or flying creatures, okay, because I saw those 4 seagulls, a couple crows landed outside my nest. I saw a dove. You also got the owl, the cockatoo, and there's this little parrot that's kind of been looking at me this whole time. It's a little origami parrot. And then also butterflies. Okay, that's not a bird, obviously, but it does fly. It's transformational, of course. You have shed light in the shadows and provided nutrients to the ones that needed nutrients the most, to the malnourished. And your inner child is saying not to forget who you are. And if you feel that you've already done what you came here to do, there's no need to strive for more. This is the part of your life that is yours. It belongs to you. And you're going to be celebrated for it in a way that's supported. And somebody's going to want to listen to you. And yes, they will ask. Okay? Group number 3, that is all I have for you. That is a channeled message from your inner child. I really hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Namaste. Hi there, group number 4. Namaste. Welcome to your channeled message from your inner child. Today's reading is a collaboration with Carissa from 9 3/4, so go ahead and check out her channel when you are done here. You selected the 4th group with the Ace of Wands. So this indicates realization, spiritual enlightenment, or getting creative as well. Your inner child wants you to know that you are so much more creative than you are currently expressing or giving yourself credit for. Now, in Spirited Away here, we have Chihiro in the boiler room right after she meets Kamaji, and he is telling her that he doesn't want or need her help and to go away, actually. And they end up becoming good friends, and he does end up helping her out in the long run. There is an indication here that your inner child may have needed to get creative time and time again in order to make it through different situations. I'm hearing you're very ingenuitive, okay? You could be very inventive, very creative, and you could also be very spiritual. Here, Chihiro knows when she goes to the boiler room that she can get a job there because Haku told her so. But when she gets there, she's turned down immediately. So there's kind of an intuition, there's an indication here of you following your intuition before it makes sense, and having faith because your intuition told you so, because your intuition told you that you're meant to be somewhere, or that you've been having a certain vision for a long time. Now, your inner child actually wants to speak with you about a vision or a dream that you've had since you were very, very young. It seems that your inner child is in a very peaceful state with you right now. It feels very calm, very eased, very at home with your current life, and your inner child feels very, very well taken care of by you. So group number 4, there is something that you have been wanting or dreaming of since you were a little kid, and your inner child wants to talk to you about this today. You feel that there is something that you were always meant for, that for some reason it just seems impractical, or you're being told no, or there is something in your surroundings that is not necessarily, there's like a friction between motivation and being told no, or motivation and like there's like a yes and a no, but they're happening simultaneously, and it's creating friction here. And this is vibrating. Your inner child wants to let you know that this is going to ascend. This energy will ascend, and as it does, these particles are going to disperse. And you're going to find yourself in this place naturally, authentically, originally, because it comes from a place of creativity. Because you flowed your way into this, and you also have a lot more support and help than you think. There are a lot of people that will love it when you do this, that want to see you thrive in this way, and that would love to support you along the journey too, whether or not you know them. And I'm getting it's going to be a little bit of both. So, group number 4, inner child, please. Channeled messages from group number 4's inner child to group number 4. Someone said that's it, that's the message. They really, really want you to go for something. And this is likely something that makes you really nervous or really scared, or maybe you know a lot of people who do this, okay? And there's an indication here, like in the boiler room, there's these cute little fluffy balls of like soot that are her friends, these little dudes in the back with the eyes. They are so cute. And they work in the boiler room. So when Chihiro shows up and asks for a job, Kamaji's like, literally, what would I have to do with you? Like, you're not a tiny soot ball. Like, what? I don't get it. So there's this indication of maybe you being the odd one out. Okay, maybe you know a lot of people who do this, and so you're like, what would I possibly do this? Or there's maybe, like, how would I possibly do this? Or maybe there's a bit of imposter syndrome going on here, but it's funny because your inner child feels the most powerful, feels the most safe, feels the most authentic when you're tapping into this space. So pay attention to this. Your inner child wants to approach this with you today. So group number 4's inner child, messages for them, please. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. 6 of Cups and 4 of Cups. I'll turn these cards so you can see them because they're so cute. I love the Spirited Away deck. Okay. 6 of Cups with the 4 of Cups with the Ace of Wands. You are closing out a cycle that your day-to-day routine and your home are being highlighted. Now, there might be something about your routine where you don't have the time or the space or even the wherewithal to even think about doing this. And with the 4 of Cups, there's kind of an indication as well that maybe where you geographically live, or something, number 4, something relating to the moon, nighttime, or your geographical location, or your home, your physical house, your mother, or your heart chakra is something here that is needing to be approached, or it would be something that is trying to cause an obstacle for you in this way. You also have the 2 of Swords coming out, creating a bit of indecision here. This is this friction we were talking about. Knowing that you feel called towards something, but that you can't necessarily see the path ahead. You know that you're leaving one thing behind, or that you would probably have to, but you don't see exactly where you're going. And you might notice that the people in the driver's seat, whether you would need help for this or whether it's just other people that you know that do partake in this dream of yours, okay, or just from like a media standpoint, if you see other people in general who do this, you might disagree with some of like their lifestyles or their perspectives or the way they use their resources, or something like this is coming out as well. Because on this Two of Swords, they're showing me the scene with Chihiro and her parents driving to their new town after they're moving. And there's just so much greed and disillusionment that her parents are under that Chihiro is like, what do you mean? How do you not see this? We shouldn't do this. We shouldn't do that. Don't talk like that. And there's just this sense of like pride of taking up a space. Like, well, I know better because I'm an adult. And Chihiro's like, but that's not rooting from love. So how can that be correct? And so Six of Cups and the Four of Cups, it's like you think about this a lot. You daydream or fantasize about this a lot. And if others have been in the same space with you while you did this thing, perhaps maybe you really like mini golf and you haven't done it in a long time. And that's one example, of course. Maybe you really like to paint, or you like to sing, or you like to give tarot readings, or maybe you want to start a YouTube channel, okay? Everyone that you ask is going to tell you, oh, that is a diluted market, don't do it. I'm gonna straight up, I'm gonna tell you to do it, because it's not. And I heard the same exact thing when I started, and it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's a way to break out of the matrix and enjoy yourself. And that's kind of what's going on here. It's like there are matrixy people around you who are like, oh, I don't know about that. But then as soon as you start getting successful, they'll turn around with their little grin, and they'll be like, how can I benefit from this? How can I benefit from this? So if you have a dream that you've been wanting to go for since you were a little kid, just do it. And I know it's easier said than done, but your inner child is really trying to encourage you to take that next step. There's a reason also that you've kept something to yourself for so long. They want to say that as well. There's a reason, because if you had expressed yourself or expressed this part of yourself before this, look, we have 6 and we have 4 and 2, 6, 66, the number of unconditional love and your daily routine. You would not have been able to be as successful in some of the daily habits that you have. Okay, maybe you own a business. Maybe there's something that you do every day. Maybe you wrap crystals. Maybe you show up to Pilates every day. Okay, maybe you, I don't know, whatever this is. Maybe you have a really good cleaning routine for your house. Either way, if you had done this earlier, something that took habitual effort would not have grown in your life, and you wouldn't have been doing this through love. It would have been through the probably pain and hurt of not doing this. And your inner child is saying they feel healed now. They're okay. They're okay. They feel like you can let go of their hand, but they don't want to let go of your hand because they love you. But they feel okay. They're saying like, they're showing me this tricycle moment, okay? Like riding a tricycle and then graduating to a bicycle, or like people pushing a little kid on a bicycle and then letting go. And it's like, no, you're doing it on your own, see? And then the little kid feels this rush of confidence. There's this energy like this that will approach when you step into this dream of yours, and you're being encouraged to do this. You have the Knight of Swords. Okay, this might have to do with expression or expression of self. This can have to do as well with maybe you have a lot of thoughts surrounding this. Maybe you have a lot of really cool ideas and it just seems like a lot. Okay, maybe your ideas are like super big and you are confused because when you have no foundation and a super big idea, it can be really scary to take those first steps. I'm not gonna lie, but try to tap into that cardinal energy, right? Try to hang out with like vibrations that'll help you tune into that. Like tap into Aries, tap into Cancer, tap into Libra, tap into Capricorn, right? And you don't have to have these, you can just work with them and meditate with those vibes. The fact that it's a big idea, okay, the fact that it's very far from where you are, the fact that people feel you'll just get around to it in another life or something like this, okay? Do like 5 minutes today and then 5 minutes next week or 20 minutes here, okay? Or you do have some sort of like more of a foundation, more knowledge, or better, you feel tired, you feel tired. If you want to keep this to yourself because you are afraid that other people are going to be jerks to you, but your inner child wants you to have faith. Like this, there's a reason that you're drawn to what and who and where and why, whatever you're drawn with your childhood, everything. You would have done this. You would have fearlessly gone for this. And I'm also getting that there's a bit of a buzz around you doing this, okay? There might be people saying, like, just talking about this, like good things, bad things, whatever this is. But somehow it seems to come up, like this passion of yours, this dream of yours, it's like its own entity. It literally is its own entity, to the point where it's almost like acting as a spirit guide to you. Okay, you may be connecting with someone on your spirit team who is trying to nudge you towards this, but for some reason, whatever this is, it already has legs. Okay, somebody's saying, hey, remember that one time that you said you wanted to do that? Or remember that one time that you did do that and you were really happy? Or remember that one time that I don't know, I saw you drawing in your sketchbook and I looked over your shoulder when you told me not to look. Or that one time I heard you singing in the shower even though you don't sing in front of people. Or whatever this is. Or I saw that sweater that you knit even though no one knew you knit sweaters, but it was amazing and I thought it was really cute. Like, this has somehow become its own entity. And so the universe is like lovingly, gently, and at your own pace, like peer pressuring you a little bit, okay? And your inner child wants you to know that it's okay. It's going to be okay. And it makes sense why you're feeling a little bit like guarded or defensive towards this energy because of what you've heard in the past, because of what you've experienced. We also have the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. We have the Five of Pentacles. There's a lot of energy here of, oh, everybody else gets to do this, I just don't. Or everybody else is good at this, I just don't. Or maybe this is something that you've put a lot of time and effort into in the past and it didn't pay off. So now, because it's been a long time, you don't have the time and effort of like practice and skill. Like, this is something maybe you'd be a little bit rusty, okay? And so this can be like adding to this maybe imposter syndrome too. And it's not that you don't have the skills and expertise. It's that you know what to do, you know how to do it, you know how it makes you feel, you know what you want to make. But when you go to do it, there's like this energy of, oh, I just can't, or oh, I'm just not good enough, or oh, I'm just like too far gone, or oh, it's too late for me, or something like this. Your inner child also is saying that looking back, it's like they're almost holding hands with a future version of yourself. And they're saying, like, almost together, looking back, it's good that you would have kept this to yourself for a period of time. Because it kept you level-headed, it kept you in love, it kept you outside of the buzz, okay, of maybe that community or the people around you or the clients that you would have had or something like this, okay? There's something good about the timing. Looking back, they wouldn't have had it any other way because this provided you like a sanctuary, a little happy place that you would have needed or wanted. But now it's not just like a little meek happy place anymore. When you tap into this, it's going to be a really big happy place for you. You're going to be really happy and it's going to be a big deal. And there might be a lot of emotions that you have either stored up or that you're on your way to releasing that are relating to this energy. So as you do this, just have faith in the process, in your body's physical process, in your mindset. Okay, just observe lovingly what comes up, let it go. Just release it, witness it non-judgmentally, and let yourself talk to yourself about this. There's kind of an energy of maybe journaling about how you feel about this will help, or creating whatever it is that you create, maybe around this energy, or just writing down, talking about how you got from A to B to C. Help yourself literally talk it out so that you get this energy out, but you're also able to rationalize to yourself, it makes sense that this was the journey. It makes sense that this dream was put on the back burner, but it also makes sense now to go for it. And here are the tools and expertise that you have in order to take a step in the next direction. And this is really beautiful. And your inner child knows that it's going to be a big, really fun adventure. It's just going to be something that you like a lot. And so if there's any type of paradigm that goes against you doing something that you really like just for the sake of doing it, just take another look at that, because it's realistic for you to live a happy life. It's realistic for you to get as far as you can and do everything you want to do, because that's really the only reason why we're here. We're not here to work and sleep and repeat, you know? So take a look at your dreams. There's a reason that you have them, especially if it's something that's been keeping you going for so long, okay? And then look at those, okay, there's another thing coming out here as well. Look at those virtues, those morals and virtues of others that don't align with you, because whatever part of that is going against this, stand in that purity of your inner child, of yourself. Stand in the purity of the love for this activity or this hobby or this career or whatever this represents for you. Stand in that. Stand in your own authenticity. Stand in your own love. And know that everything looks a little bit different on everybody, okay? If 100 of us all gathered together and we all had the same shirt in our own respective size, it would look so different on everybody, because we're all so different. And so if you know a million people who are like painters, for example, and maybe you feel like you have all the technical training, you know exactly how to paint, okay? You love it, but you're a little bit rusty, okay? And so you see other people and they're making so much money and they don't have like, they don't have some of the tools or skills or gifts or morals behind it that you have, okay? Maybe some people are like utilizing that to live an unhealthy, unbalanced life, or it's like their scapegoat for other energies, like whatever it is, okay? Because there's not really a right or wrong way to do anything, but higher vibrational energies certainly exist, right? So if you notice that a lot of people around you who are in this community or do what you do or whatever, and you just do not agree with what they're doing. I'm hearing the word clickbait, okay? I'm also hearing like attention seeking. It's like, maybe you really want to start a YouTube channel of your own, okay? And maybe the YouTubers that you see, they have like 10 million subscribers, but they just like really want attention and they don't care about the quality of their content. They care about instigating like fear or like sex or something like this, and then it works and they work for like an hour a week, and some people just have their life like that, but the rest of their life is gonna be in shambles. And again, like, I mean, it's not wrong to want to start a YouTube channel and to have a successful life or a successful career or a successful hobby, whatever this is for you. Because again, there's no right or wrong way to do anything, but there's like something about the specific morals and values that are commonly found in a particular community that keep coming up here as like something to nudge you away from it. It's like, well, maybe you don't want to work with certain people. Maybe you would rather get success the clean and honest way. Okay, maybe you would rather be good at something and put love into it than try to be like the next biggest thing by being rude to people. You know, there's kind of this energy. Maybe it's like, again, whatever this relates to, there's like this energy of morals and values, and your inner child is saying, exactly, you never lost that. And that's exactly why you would be successful here. Hard work combined will lead to so much abundance for you. You have the Queen of Wands and the Eight of Cups. Your inner child wants you to know that you have so many realizations. Because of this, it's almost giving you a motivation. And then you go, wait, but who am I to do that? What do you mean? Anyone who is the reason for your who am I to do that, okay, you might want to look at that, okay? Because that's either going to be something that your inner child really wants you to know, that you've been keeping this this dream, this gift, this hobby, this skill, this business idea, whatever it is, release, okay? Release that. That is what you're going to paint, right? Or let yourself let it out. You can show up at a canvas without knowing the picture that you're going to paint. You can absolutely do that. Or you can have a perfectly tailored idea and show up and do that too. And just release, just let that energy out. That is the biggest piece of advice from your inner child, because there's something that it was in you for a long time, this energy, but it kind of got broken up and sifted a little bit. So now it's loose and it's active and it's on its way out and it's looking for a place to go. And you have that perfect outlet and you already know what it is and you already have your ideas. And you have two twice, which is the Four of Swords, which indicates some healing, okay? Your inner child feels very happy, feels very healed. They're saying it feels healed of all of the painful stuff, okay? But then they're showing me again this wound that you can kind of see where it was as it's healing, okay? So just because you can still see where something was doesn't mean that it needs to hold you back. If you feel like you need to take a beat or you need to plan it into your day, like an hour next week and then that's it, go ahead and try that. Take small little bites out of it if you need to, but know that indecision is a decision, and you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to follow your dreams. You deserve to do the things that you think are going to make you happy, not the things that you think should make you happy, or what other people around you do or don't do, or do or don't tell you. If every single person that you know is a painter and you really want to be a painter, then paint. Who cares? If nobody that you know is a painter and they are all scientists and mathematicians and work in an office and you want to be a painter, be a painter. Who cares? There is no reason when you close your eyes not to do what it is that you desire, not to do what makes you happy. So, be yourself. You might feel catharsis from maybe pulling yourself out of some of those situations for a little bit, really doing a deep dive into where that comes from, or even using some of this this energy that's up and moving around as creative inspiration to create from. Okay? Now I'm going to pull some final messages from your inner child here, group number 4. Your inner child, like, it seems like they held this close to their chest for a really long time. And now it's just everywhere that you look. It's like everywhere that you look is this energy or inspiration for this energy. It's just all around you. It's within you, because this energy, it's no longer stagnant. It's not like an obstacle. It's not an energy blockage. It is showing up in your energy as something that is like pulsing or tingling. It's like on its way out. It's being processed. It's already active. Okay, it's already on the move. So you're just the one that gets to direct it. So just look at it as this energy is releasing and you're directing it in a particular way, in a particular manner. Okay. Maybe some of you like to make short films. Okay, and you're like, but what do I do? Hey, I've been doing this for 4 years and I'm still using the camera and the mic on my iPhone. Okay, you don't need the fanciest equipment. Will I invest in better equipment someday? Yes, I will. Okay. But right now, you know, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You know what I mean? I do what I love. I'm grateful for it. Okay. Fairy Penguin with willpower. You have 26, which is the number 8, which is the number of abundance. Okay. We have 2, Taurus, 6, Virgo, culminating in an 8. And the difference between 2 and 6 would be 4. That's Cancer. So behind the scenes, look at what makes you comfortable in this energy. Okay. Take a look at how you can make, maybe this is something like, applying feng shui to your house. Okay, to make it a little more comfortable so you have a better energy around you to process this energy. Maybe make a little corner just dedicated to this. Or where do you feel the most comfortable expressing yourself in this energy, or what is the most comfortable for you? You're being encouraged to start at your comfort zone and enjoy the process. And if you can, make some sort of routine out of it. Not to the point where it's unenjoyable for you, but then that will help you as well. We do have 88 coming out, indicating that once you do this, it's going to be very successful and abundant. And you already know this too. But there's kind of this just needing to put one foot in front of the other, believe in magic a little bit, believe in yourself a little bit more, believe in the universe a lot, okay? And try to make yourself feel as comfortable as you can while showing up as often as you can. And your inner child is saying that you're going to love it. Once you start making space for this in your life, whether it's literally space in your house or energetic space, mental space, whatever this is, once you start making space for this, you're going to feel the difference and you're not going to want to tap out of this energy, okay? So you have Wombat with gentle aggression, okay, and Gray Kangaroo with abundance. There is so much love here with you in this situation that you almost don't want to touch it a little bit. And your inner child is saying, remember when you first discovered this, or remember when you first had this dream, or remember something else that you used to do that might be kind of similar, or maybe you were put in a similar field or a similar area of expertise or a similar community or something. They're saying, remember that fight that you had within you, not fight like violence, but fight like willpower, literally like willpower, like gentle aggression, like abundance. Remember that oomph that you have within you. It's okay to pull that back out. It's okay. You can be balanced and have a little bit of fire within you. That's good, you know? So with Kangaroo, abundance, and number 40, this is saying, again, make your space a safe space for this, first and foremost. The first thing you're going to want to focus on, and I'm getting this 4 and 10, okay? This is 4, but it's amplified by Saturn, okay? Amplified by Capricorn. You are going to want to make sure that you have dedicated time and dedicated space for this. It's going to make a world of abundance, okay? Trying to, maybe you want to paint, but you want to paint at your work desk, okay? Or maybe you want to do it on your kitchen counter or whatever. try not to mesh those two pieces of your life together. Try to make this its own thing, because then you'll see it and you'll be more inclined to sit down there. You'll be more inclined to tinker with those little tools or whatever it is. Make a space dedicated just for that. Whether it's big or small, or has a ton of equipment, or literally just your iPhone, it doesn't matter, okay? And also, know that you can do anything that you want. There are literally no rules to this life. And if there were one, it would be live through love, try your best, and do what makes you happy, you know? So follow that. Also, know that you are the king or queen of your own world, and that you're the one that gets to decide what your life looks like. Nobody else. Nobody else. And there's kind of an indication as well that you already have inspiration. You might already have the beginnings of a project, the beginnings of a painting, the beginnings of something. It's kind of like maybe just pushed aside somewhere, or you saved it for a rainy day. Now, there's more to that than you might be thinking, and your inner child wants you to know it's safe and okay to go for this. They encourage this. This will align with your morals and values, and it will give you a safe space, not just one that you might create in your home or your office space or whatever it is. It will give you a safe space to express and to be yourself and to follow your dreams. This is really beautiful energy, group number 4. Your inner child really wants you to go for that thing. They really want to inspire you, and they really want you to be more gentle with yourself and make yourself feel at home. If you are, one more thing is coming up, okay? If there are communities or thought groups or whatever that are surrounding this energy and they don't resonate with you, there's a reason for that. They're saying high vibration to me. You can create your own high vibrational version of this, and it doesn't have to be like a version of somebody else's something, okay? Create your own high vibrational type of art. Create your own high vibrational type of career or YouTube channel or whatever it is. Do something that follows your own morals and virtues and values, not something that follows somebody else's. Because there's a reason. There's literally a reason why you stand out so much, why you stick out like a sore thumb in this energy or around this community. It's because you're meant to do something big with it, and because you're meant to be the change in the community. So I'm hearing 2 things. Don't second guess yourself, and don't knock it till you try it. There is also an indication that you might find more support from people in your life than you might expect right now. You might know the people that won't support you, okay? But that doesn't negate the people that will, okay? You have a little bit more of a community or a network or similar people with similar inspirations or dreams around you right now for a reason, okay? It's not to show you that you can't. It's to show you that you can, and these are people that will support you, okay? I'm hearing sneaky, sneaky, okay? Your inner child has been arranging some stuff for you. And so they're really excited to see this next chapter of your life. They are really encouraging you to go for it. They're saying that you will, but it's better if you take the first step instead of the universe doing it for you. Wow, okay. So group number 4, that was your reading. That was your channeled message from your inner child. I really hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Namaste.